As Seattle Council President Lorena Gonzalez launches a bid for mayor, we expect a lot of candidates to run for her seat. One of them, Fremont Brewing co-owner Sara Nelson, launching her campaign this morning. And she spoke to Q13's Brandy Cruz. Brandy, Nelson has run for council before.
Yeah, she ran in 2017 and she got third, so she didn't advance past the primary. But she is hoping that it is different in 2021, in part because of the pandemic. You know, she's a business owner, and certainly there are a lot of needs in the business community. But one other thing, and I spoke to her about this, you know, if you look at the latest city council election, which was in 2019, you had kind of this slate of business-friendly candidates, and then you had more progressive candidates. And the business-friendly candidates did not do well. So I asked Nelson what that means for her campaign in 2021.
Do you expect that to be different 2 years later?
I do. I believe that economic recovery is top of mind for most Seattleites when they see their neighborhood restaurant going under and they see their friends out of work. I do believe that people recognize that business means jobs, and we've got to bring jobs back to Seattle. We've got to bring jobs back to the downtown core, and resources flowing back into the city budget, because that's how we pay for the basic services that keep this city functioning. Well-maintained roads and bridges, clean parks, first responders. These are the things that really matter. That's the job of city government. And I do believe that people make that connection between the value of a healthy business community and what people want to see in their city government, the services that they need and the priorities that I think that most Seattleites agree on.
And so Nelson is clearly going to be positioning herself as, I like to call it comparatively moderate, because we know that the council is just sort of shades of blue, but certainly more business friendly, someone who wants to deal with the homelessness crisis and you know, does not believe in further cuts to the police department's budget. By the way, you can watch more of my interview with Sara Nelson on her campaign for City Council coming up this Sunday on The Divide, 7:30 a.m. on Q13 Fox. And Allie, one other thing I asked her, just because she is running for the seat that Lorena Gonzalez holds right now, I asked her whether she thinks Lorena Gonzalez will make a good mayor, and she said she does not believe that Gonzalez has been effective enough on the City Council to make that jump.
Interesting. Okay, so Brandy, you pointed out there, Sara Nelson, not necessarily the type of candidate who would have done well in 2019.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, she ran in 2017. Now, do you think the electorate has really changed that much in 2 years?
Well, I think there's a couple key differences here. First of all, this is a citywide council seat, so there are two of those. The council seats that were up for grabs in 2019 were district-wide seats. And so you can see how maybe Shama Sawant's district might not support a business-friendly candidate, but the electorate as a whole in the city might. So that's a little bit different this time around. The other thing, Allie, you might recall, one of the reasons the business-friendly candidates didn't do well in 2019, Amazon came in and spent a bunch of money, and it kind of became this narrative of Amazon's buying the Seattle City Council. I think and I hope that Amazon has gotten wise to maybe the damage it did to some of those candidates and, you know, to contributing to that narrative. And so it'll be interesting to see how business spending comes into play. I think the business community will try to back Sara Nelson, depending on who else jumps into the race, but maybe they'll be a little smarter on their messaging.
Yeah, especially since what we've seen over the last year. Thank you, Brandy. Appreciate it.